Hey guys, it's Danny, and in this learning session, we'll be discussing the hurricane season just as the topic here suggests. So, we'll actually be going down in details. We'll be moving a bit off course to actually go into the formation of hurricanes and the time period at which they form. So, before we get into all of those details, please subscribe if you haven't, and you can follow me on Instagram at WhatTheGirlDanny. So, let's get into details with the hurricane season. So here is my definition. The hurricane season is an annual period of time where tropical cyclones usually generate in the North Atlantic and Northeast Pacific. The Atlantic hurricane season runs from June 1st to November 30th, and the Pacific hurricane season runs from May 15th to November 30th. So this is basically just telling the time, and we all know that is to say during the summer months and going a bit over into autumn. So that is the time when the water is very hot, the ocean water is very hot. And right here is a perfect example because we are seeing the different colors, and usually the colors go from purple to pink, and here's a little pink spot down here. So this is actually the time, this is actually showing the ocean temperature for a period of time during the hurricane season and during the summer months. So let's say that the ocean temperatures here were reaching, especially the pink spot right here, they were reaching at least 30 degrees Celsius, and that is one of the main ingredients for the formation of a tropical cyclone. So the hotter the water, the more energy, the more food. It would be like the food, when we get hungry and we eat something and we feel energized. It would be the same thing with the warm ocean water as it relates to the formation of a hurricane. So let's get into more details with it. So how do hurricanes appear on maps? So most of the time this is what they look like, and these black lines here, well, they would appear white or black on a weather map, and these are actually called the isobars, and those are the lines that show equal pressure, and the closer they are to each other, the stronger the winds. And hurricanes are all low pressure systems, and you probably see one of these like that, and when you see the lines just tightening up in each other, it shows that the winds are very strong. That is why if you were to look on an actual map of a hurricane, let's say for example Irma, you would see that the lines are very close to each other, and that is to show that the winds are very, very strong. And also, the lower the pressure, the stronger the winds. So we have two ways in which we can know how strong a hurricane is without actually looking at the wind speed. It depends on the pressure and how close the isobars are to each other. So that is one of the important things about a hurricane. And of course, we know that the peak of the hurricane season is usually the month of September, but the time going into the peak, I'd say, would be from August to October. So this is the path that most hurricanes take in the month of August. So you can see that it heads, most of these storms head probably for the Caribbean and the Bahamas, but in September though, they head for the East Coast. Yeah, so you're actually seeing it here that the Caribbean, the Gulf, and the East Coast, they are more impacted by hurricanes in September, because of course September is the time when we'll say that the ocean waters are at their hottest. So we could find ocean temperature being at like 30 to 32 degrees Celsius, or yeah, but that is really, really one of very prominent ingredients. It comes on to the formation of a hurricane, just as I said earlier. And with this path right here, it is very similar to that of Hurricane Irma back in 2017. So of course, here is a map showing the actual path of Irma, and the pink, as it says, represents the hurricane, and the white for the tropical storm force winds. So you can see that it takes a very similar path to what we have seen as Irma made its way across the Atlantic and into the Caribbean and the east coast of the US. And Irma was very strong. The winds of Irma were 180 miles per hour, maximum sustained winds at 1 minute mean. So that is just to show that, and it was in the month of September. So everything is now coming together, and you're actually seeing the connection between what I said with Irma as an example here. And here is another photo of Irma when it was at its peak intensity. Boy, this was one deadly storm. From I just saw these reds going into the darker reds going into black. You can just see the storm looks evil. So the 2019 Atlantic hurricane season is coming up, and let's hope that no hurricanes like Irma will actually threaten anywhere. Even if they form, they probably won't threaten anywhere, but if that happens, that would be a miracle, because usually these strong, deadly hurricanes are always threats to somewhere, whether it's a small island such as Bermuda, or it is a long stretch of land such as the continental United States. And also, one other thing that we must always do when it comes on to the hurricane season, once you are in the zone, once you're anywhere in the North Atlantic, the Caribbean, Bahamas, East Coast, Gulf Coast, anywhere, Central America, those areas always get affected by at least one tropical cyclone each year. It doesn't have to be a hurricane, it can be a tropical storm, but they still do tremendous damages. So this is a hurricane preparedness checklist. So this is actually taken from a site, and here's the site name down here. And it shows all that you might need: 3-day supply of water and non-perishable foods, preferably canned items, mechanically or battery-powered flashlights or lanterns, roll of duct tape, small toolkit to turn off your home's gas and water, first aid kit with additional supply of prescription medications, hurricane window protection, heavy-duty work gloves, designated meeting area in case family gets separated, fully charged portable phone chargers, mechanically powered portable radio. So this really is a checklist, and before the start of the hurricane season, you must always be prepared. And don't say you waste your time if you take the necessary precautions and a hurricane doesn't affect you. As it says, it's best to be safe than to be sorry. So I hope that you learned a lot from this video and use the information to actually benefit yourself as it comes on to the hurricane season. As of course, I'll be making another video when we're closer to the season with updates from different centers that are making their predictions, and also I'll break down this checklist or another one for the hurricane season and why do you need these supplies. So if you want to keep in touch, remember to subscribe if you haven't and tap the notification bell. Have a great day and stay weather-wise.